I think that it is possible for most of Africa to become middle income within the next 20 years. It's possible, entirely possible.
I think this can happen actually fairly quickly. I mean, you already have middle-income countries in Africa, a significant number of them. The others, what it takes is 10 years of 7% of growth.
Will sub-Saharan Africa be in composite or in aggregate better off in 10 years? I think the answer to that is yes. I think there's just so much more focus and energy and money flowing into Africa that I think it's going to affect both the public and the private and the third sectors and create a better place overall.
Well, I would have to divide Africa into two sets of countries. Countries that are in conflict and countries that aren't, countries that have some democracy, some stability. I think the time frame is pretty fast. I think what everyone is concerned about is the countries where there is civil war or other kinds of conflicts, and for them it is really very difficult to see what the path looks like.
I think it'll take about 10 years, at a push 15, but some of the front runners should be in a position, especially if they are endowed with some natural resource, to harness that natural resource, invest in infrastructure, invest in human capital, and transform their societies.
It's already clear that there's a lot of middle-income families throughout Africa. Already that number, by some measures is higher than India's, for example. We already know that Africans are consuming a lot. They consume more than India, more than Brazil, they say. Our issues have to do more with the kind of consumption that it is, that we're mostly importing goods and spending a lot of money instead of building local capacity and adding value to our manufacturing, for example. So the next 40 years or so are actually very, very critical in moving Africa to that level, and I think definitely by 2040 we should see most people having broken out of this cycle.
It'll be a long time, but shorter than people think. I think Rwanda will be a middle-income country in 10 years. That's unbelievable. And then they'll prove that others can do it, and others will follow Rwanda more than they follow the advice of people like me. They'll look at each other and see that it's happening, and that's when the change will really happen.